All right, all right. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton here with you for the Big Orange halftime reaction, A to Z Sports Big Orange halftime reaction show. Of course, got to mention the old parent company there. NC State is giving Tennessee fits, while at the same time the Vols lead by 17 points, 20-3. We're going to talk about all of it. Crompton, what's up, man?
What's up? Having a good night?
Hey, Tennessee hanging on for dear life. We're making it happen. Apparently we got a kicker making a 45-yard.
We're winning, so it's a good night.
Exactly. And of course, this portion of the show brought to you by the good folks at Zen Sports. We'll talk about them in just a second. But let's just get right down to brass tacks here. 20-3. Although one of those touchdowns is a defensive touchdown by walk-on Will Brooks. Loved that.
Love it.
So it's been a little all over the place to start. Not exactly the smooth, total steamrolling that some folks were expecting here. What do you think of that first half?
No, I mean, all around, what we were talking about a little off air. I do like the kind of the game plan that Heupel has coming into it, as far as like ease Nico in. Guys, this is the best defense Nico's played so far. Iowa's just not a good football team. And then we played UTC. So now, do I think that we need to run the ball? Yes. And the reason why, NC State's playing what's called a 3-3-5 defense, which means 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs, because they assume we're going to try to, air raid it. Well, we've been running counter for, I'm going to guess here and say we're averaging 5.5, 6 yards a carry on counter. We need to run it until the cows come home and then play action. That's something I think we do need to stick with, because we've been running the ball efficiently outside of the one run that Sampson tried to bounce in the first quarter, but then we end up scoring on the drive. It was on the second drive of the game. Other than that, though, I think we've been running the ball very efficiently. I can understand why the game plan is what it is. We've only taken 2 real shots, completed one of them.
Yeah, one connected.
And one, and it was a beautiful throw. The other one is kind of tough to judge because he was staring down the barrel of the gun, essentially, about to take a pretty good hit. This is a great route by Brew. We don't have the pressure in the face, then that's a touchdown. You know what I mean? So that one, I'm not going to throw judgment one way or the other on that one. But I do think overall we have been efficient. I like that we're having to learn to overcome adversity with Nico this early in the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love that to happen now. Then, oh crap, we're in Florida week, or we're at Arkansas or something like that. So it's a good thing to have that at the moment. But the game plan, I think we've executed it pretty well for what it is. We're up 17 points and get the ball at half. There's a really good chance we'll go up 24 points before you know it. So defense outside the first drive played well.
I think realistically speaking, what you're seeing from Nico is what we probably should have expected. And I think I tried to talk about it in both ways during our show on Monday this week.
Mm-hmm.
He looked incredible against UTC, while at the same time we still didn't have the proof of him in a big game. And it's not even the proof, it's that he has just literally never played in one, and it's not like you just come preloaded with the ability to just be like, I'm clutch at every single moment, and I can make every single throw, and I'm going to do everything that I have to in crunch time. Like, you have to learn some of these things, and I think he's doing that. To your point, I think it's kind of the game plan to not just give him a trial by fire here. Clearly, I don't think you need to. It's 20-3. I saw somebody in the comments say, it's impressive that he can kind of get off to the slow start that he has, and you're still up by 17. That's
exactly.
Yeah, that's where this team is, and that's exciting. And I think there's
that's the sign of a really good team, because he doesn't have to bear the weight. He doesn't have to, quote unquote, get the monkey off his back. Like I said, outside of the first drive when NC State was kind of moving the ball, but if you really think about it, they were 9 plays, 36 yards to kind of begin, like going into the 10th play, and like they really didn't manipulate us like down the field. They were averaging 4 yards a play, but it was time consuming because they want to keep the ball out of our hands. So other than that, and then we had a great job of bow on our neck. getting a punt on the first drive. And then other than that, our defense has played well. The bend but don't break mentality, getting the pick six, phenomenal moment there. That right there, I think, turned the whole momentum of the game. And then what a kickoff to land and backspin on the one. Like that helped us be able to get a field goal right before half.
It was huge. And there was a lot there to talk about as far as the defense goes. I mean, the defensive line got to work. I think the defensive line so far, they've lived up to their billing. Are they getting a sack on every down? No. Also, NC State is doing some things to try to avoid that because they don't want their boy getting killed out there.
Yeah. No, for real.
And there just hasn't been many moments so far. Maybe that drive that ended with the Will Brooks pick six, they were really moving the ball and specifically moving the ball on the ground, and they hadn't done that to that point. And suddenly they were, but of course you get the momentum back with the interception and all those things. But on the whole, they had just looked really stern. The cornerbacks, defensive backs in general. I'm not overly impressed, but they also had a pick six, and so
exactly.
What can you say? And so you take everything into account. Was it a slow start? Yes. Are you up by 17? Also, yes. So you take the good with the bad, and here you are.
No, exactly. I'm looking at the stats right here. Nico's 10 of 14. Let's see, 10 of 14 for 123 yards. Not the best, not the worst, kind of an average day. You know what I'm saying? Like completion percentage-wise, pretty good completion percentage. I'll take 10 of 14. But in our offense, 10 completions normally means 220, because we take shots. What that tells you is we're not taking shots right now. So they're trying to ease him into the game. That's smart coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like that is. What I did like to see is the first third down, get out there scrambling. Now, what I would like to see is just get out of bounds a hair earlier and not try to do a little stiff arm or kind of lean back in. Like, you're not Jared Lorenzen back there. You know what I'm saying? Just get the first down, get what you can get, but right before you're about to hit, just jump out of bounds. Don't take a chance, because then you lead to personal fouls. Those things. Those are the things you don't want to have. But like I said, ultimately, I do think that the game plan has been very, very, very vanilla. I think it was more open last week than it is this week. But that's also because of opponents. Last week is the time you take your chances, you take your shots, you do certain things because regardless, you should win that ball game.
Yep.
This week is the week you go, all right, neutral site environment. First, kind of real big start because Iowa's Iowa. Let's call it like it is. Iowa in a bowl game, Iowa's probably not up. It's Iowa. They're not really up during the year anyway. First big start, not at home, neutral site game. Let's ease you into it. Let's get your feet wet, and let's kind of let the veteran players around you go win this ball game and just be efficient. And so far, he has been efficient. We're just not giving him the ability to throw the ball past 10 yards downfield outside of the dig to Brood that he led too far. That's just a inaccurate throw. The hole was there. That's going to happen.
And I mean, there is still so much room for Nico to just settle in and just get better and better. I mean, you are seeing just the very, very beginning, the infancy of any of his time at Tennessee, and you always got to kind of keep in this game. You got to keep it in that context. But I'll ask you this before we move on to sort of the sponsored part of the halftime here. The wide receivers, you take their involvement so far. It hasn't been a lot, but you have 45 yards from squirrel wide. It's on one catch. Then Chris Brazel, 3 for 18 yards. Miles Kitzelman, 1 for 16. And then otherwise, I mean, it's been nearly blank. What are you thinking so far? Again, you've kind of spoken to it. Might be a game plan, but what do you think of their involvement in the game?
I'm going to answer that also with this comment. And this is what I just said a minute ago. I'll read it from Daniel, Umbarger. NC State plays a 3-3-5 defense. They literally are playing to stop the deep pass. They will come up if we'll keep running 5 to 6 yards carry. Calm down, people. Exactly what I was saying a minute ago. We're running GT counter, which means guard tackle counter, and we're averaging 5 to 6 yards of carry. Run it until the cows come home.
Yep.
Because a 3-3-5 is made to stop the pass. they're thinking, but here's the funny part. We talked about this the whole time Heupel's been here. We're a run-first team. So I don't know why you would play a 3-3-5 against us.
And they've absolutely established the run.
That's my opinion. Is like I would never play a 3-3-5 against Tennessee or Heupel. I wouldn't, because you know you're going to get run, play action. Now you're picking your poison. You're going, I'd rather give up 5-6 yards of carry rather than the deep ball. That's not the worst philosophy. But the reality is, if we go 5-5-5, Samson's eventually going to go 5-5-5, 50, because Samson can do that. So that's the thing is, the game plan is the game plan. We're right in the sense of I like the game plan from a coaching perspective, right? As far as let's run the ball, let's use the trenches to our advantage. We are better than NC State. Let's just call it like it is.
Flat out.
100% in every aspect of the game. NC State is not a powerhouse team. They're not. They're a middle-of-the-road ACC team. They got pre-ranked higher than they ever should be, right? But they're a ranked team, so now let's go beat a ranked team. That's kind of where I'm at as far as the game plan. The wide receivers, I wish we'd get them a little more involved, but I understand why we're not, because we don't need to at the moment.
Well, hopefully this opening drive, wherever it comes, the air or on the ground, hopefully they can march right down and score. And to that point, let's tell the good folks about Zen Sports, and specifically, let's talk about who we in Tennessee's side of the football, who we should bet on in this half. Who is the player that you think will be a big difference maker in this second half for Tennessee to help the Vols close this one out? And we'll talk about that right after I tell you about the good folks at Zen Sports. Football's back. What better way to bet on big games than with Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee that's bringing sports betting to a whole new level. And when you sign up for Zen Sports, you'll automatically earn up to a $100 no-danger first wager. If your first bet loses, you'll be reimbursed for that amount of your bet up to $100. And for football season, Zen Sports is launching a revamped betting platform for both college football and the NFL. But what's better, with the new look, Zen Sports will be offering daily promotions, including odds boosts, same-game parlays, no-danger wagers, and a whole lot more. There's also a one-of-a-kind VIP rewards program. Go to zensports.com/VIP and check that out. What are you waiting for? Start betting with Zen Sports, where you will receive true odds on all parlays and an enhanced user experience for all. Get going. Download their app at zensports.com today. Zen Sports betting just got better. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. No danger wager limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Boosted odds are derived from equivalent parlay bets offered in Tennessee. Must be 21 or older in Tennessee to bet. I'm going to keep getting faster and faster.
I know that cracks you. I'm impressed, but it just makes me laugh. Like, I'm very impressed that you can do that. I would mess that up each week so quickly.
I'm going to be reading that thing in 3 seconds flat by the end of the season.
Challenge accepted. I'm not even in the challenge, and I've accepted it for you.
I'll make it happen. But I'll throw it to you. Who are we betting on in this second half crop? Who is the player that's gonna help Tennessee close this one out?
Samson, in my opinion. Right on. Because I think we need to get him the ball more. We ran it 17 times. He's got 10 of the carries for 64 yards. He's averaging 6 yards a carry, and that is including with the one that I said he tried to bounce when he should have had a little more patience, but he bounced it, so he lost yards on it. So, that average could go higher. I think he's a game changer. He's got the one touchdown. I would love to see him get 2 more in this half. Yep, that's a high number. But he goes out here and gets 2 more, boy, then we're going to be rolling for a few weeks in a row.
I don't even know necessarily who to pick, but I'll say someone from the defensive line. Honestly, take your choice.
Yeah,
because I think you had some dudes wrecking shop in that first half. James Pierce wasn't necessarily a no-show in that half, but they're going to work hard to make sure that he doesn't get his. And I will say I hope it's him. I hope it's another guy, just somebody that can continue to get that defensive line involved, living in the backfield of NC State, and just continue to shut them down, because I didn't like the look of that second to last drive by NC State. The last drive by NC State, great. You got them off the field quickly. Yeah. That second to last one, they were moving the ball on you. Don't let that happen.
No, they were. But we've said this the whole, Heupel's whole tenure here. Our defense has a bend but don't break mentality. Luckily, their quarterback, to be honest with you, made the wrong read. Straight up. He made the wrong read, and we got a pick six. We capitalized off an opportunity, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yep. Capitalize on their mistake, and we capitalized 100% on that, which helped us because those things happen. Now we're positive. We're back even in the turnover margin, but we're positive on the points off the turnover margin. So we're +4 off of turnovers, and point wise tonight. We've got 7, they got 3. So we stayed positive there. You win a lot of ball games.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens. Tennessee gets the ball first. I'll kind of ask you this, Crump, on the way out. Yeah. Obviously, I think we both think Tennessee will close this one out. What are you thinking for final score? Does NC State finally get some on offense, or will defense keep them closed down?
I think if you know my opinion, I think we'll go probably 34-10.
I predicted 41-21 that with NC State having 3, that's effectively neutralized. But
you never know, and they may get close to that because it depends on how big of a lead we get with mop up time. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, 41 is very possible for Tennessee. Did I say 41-10 or 41-21? 41-21.
Yeah,
is what I said, and I could see like a 41, a 37, maybe something like that. And Tennessee, that's going to be way too much for NC State. Pick your number on them, maybe 17, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We got some comments here. Billy says 43-17, Joseph says 34-10. Austin, the great Austin Stanley of A to Z Sports, says 37-17. Tuning in. Mr. Jones says 48-17. Let's make it happen.
48-17.
That means you really ran away with it, and that would be great. A 28-point second half would be awesome. You had a 20-point second half, and you didn't really play that well. So
exactly.
Let's make it happen. I'm Charlie Burris. That's Jonathan Crompton. We will be back for the post-game A to Z Sports National YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, do all the things that you got to do to make sure you join us after the game. I think that's it. Come on back, and let's go get this win.